Okay, so I'm on Canvas. Let's go down to assignment 10. There it is, click on it. And click on our directions. So step 1, we'll open a Google Doc and name it A10 coronavirus and put your name. Okay. Copy this. So go to Google Doc. There you go. Google Docs, click on a blank document. Change title. So I'll say Professor McLaughlin, so you'll put your name here. Okay, so we're done with that step. Okay, then paste these directions into your Google Doc and then close directions. So just take all the directions, copy them, paste them here. Okay, so I have them on my Google Doc now. Close the directions then, we don't need these anymore. Now we've done step 1, so let's take that away. Paste direction, we've done step 2 also, take that away. Now step 3, in your Google Doc below the directions, paste the following template. So let's open our template here. So this is the R code we'll be using for this assignment. So take this and paste it below our directions. Okay. Here's our directions, paste it below. Okay, we've done that, we can close the template now. So we've done step 3, so we can take step 3 away. Now open a Google Sheet and call it coronavirus raw data. Let's take this. Go to Google Sheets now. So Google Sheets, there it is. Sign in. Blank document, blank sheet I should say. And then change title. Okay, so I've done that. So I'll get rid of step 4. Now step 5, go to this website, scroll down and you'll see a coronavirus dataset. We'll now import this dataset to our Google Sheet. So if you click on this, let's go to it real quick here. Go down here, you'll see some coronavirus information. And here's a dataset we'll be importing here. So you can close this now. So we've done step 5, I guess. So step 6 is open Google Sheets from step 1 and paste this guy. So go to our Google Sheet. You're going to paste it where it says FX right here. So in this text box right here, click on it and paste it and press enter. So we've imported the data from that website. So we have our coronavirus information here. So countries, total cases, total deaths, new deaths, total recovered, active cases, serious cases, and so forth. Okay, so let's keep going. So I've done step 6 now. So step 7, now publish your Google Sheet to the web as a CSV file and paste your URL address into your Google Doc where it says paste URL here. Okay, so let's go to our guy we just created, go to File, go down and find where it says Publish to Web, so right here. Click on that. Then the web page right here, click on this little triangle and choose CSV, comma separated values. Then say Publish. Say OK. So there's our URL address. Let's copy that. So we're going to go down to our template now. Right here. So it says put URL address here. So let's take this guy away. and paste our URL address here. Okay, so we've done that step. We've done step 7, so take this away. So step 8 now, it says in your Google Doc, write to our code that would do the following. Creates a linear model to see how well the number of people in critical condition from coronavirus in a country predicts the daily deaths in that country. B, plots the regression line on a scatter plot of critical condition versus daily deaths in countries. Predicts number of coronavirus daily deaths for a country that has 3,500 people in critical condition. So pretty much our template down here already has that. We just have to make some changes to it. So let's go down here. So pretty much wherever it says change, we have to change it. So pretty much this part here is getting R to read our data set. Then I'm calling it data, coronavirus data. But if you go back and look at the raw data here, take this away now. Notice a lot of the, like here, total cases has commas between the numbers. R is not going to like that. It has plus signs here. And this one's missing. So, well, actually, that's fine. It's just a blank one there. So you have to get rid of these commas anyway and clean up the data a bit. So going back over here. So to clean up the data, I had to do a few things. Go down here. So this guy here removes the commas from numbers, this stuff here. Don't worry about it too much. But if you just look at how the first two guys are defined, this is just going to be serious, or it says change me, it's going to be serious cases by country. Just take that, take away change me, and paste it here. Okay, so I got that one done. Go down to next one. Okay, so this removes the NA, replaces NAs with zeros. Again, we're just cleaning the data so R can read it. So if you look at how these other ones are defined here, it's just basically going to be daily deaths by country. We'll go here. Actually, I noticed there should be, I'll change in yours, but it should be a parenthesis there at the end. Let's take this away. So keep that parenthesis there. So like that. Okay, so now we have a regression model. So, well, actually, sorry, we have our cleaned data. So I'm calling DD daily deaths by country SC. It's going to be the going up here. It's going to be the serious cases by country. So change it here. Okay, then daily deaths is the clean data. So daily deaths would be the DD guy, so it'd be DD here. Serious cases would be clean data, so serious cases would be SC. Okay. Alright, so pretty much I'm creating a data frame because I want to do the regression model on it. Okay, so here we're doing our linear regression model. So we're creating a linear model to see how well the number of people in critical condition from the coronavirus in the country predicts the daily deaths in that country. So we're going to be using serious cases to predict daily deaths. So this guy here. So I should go here. So paste that there. And the data we're using is the cleaned, we're calling it the cleaned data. So let's put it here. Okay, and then let's see. So we're going to do a scatter plot for series cases on the X, daily deaths on the Y. So this change me should be plot. So P-L-O-T. And this is going to add a regression line to our scatter plot. So this should be our model, but we're calling our model M1 here. So this change me will become M1. Okay. And see. Okay, if you go back to the beginning, we're trying to predict the daily deaths in a country that has 3,500 people in critical condition. So 3,500. So this should be 3,500. Here I can put a comma because it's in quotation marks, so R's not reading it. But here I have to write the same number again, but I cannot put a comma this time, so it'll be 3, 5, 0, 0. Do not put a comma here. And this will be our predict function. So predict. Okay, so I think we got them all. Oh, got rid of that. Okay, so that should be our R code. So now we have to answer some questions, but let's run this R code. Okay, so let's take the R code and run it. So it starts here. Okay, there we go. Copy this. Go to run our script. So R command. There it is. Sign in. Say OK. Get rid of the old guy here. And then paste. And run. Okay, it doesn't show the scroll bar, so I'm going to go about. Now you can see the scroll bar comes into, pops up. So going down here, then here's our output. So this is showing the first couple of rows of our data set. Okay, and this here is showing the, I think it's the daily deaths in countries here. Okay, and it has some other stuff. And then our predicted number of daily coronavirus deaths for a country that currently has 3,500 people in critical condition is 548. And then at the bottom here, we have our scatter plot and our regression line. And at the bottom of that, we have the residuals. Okay, so I'm going to paste the stuff into my doc now. Let's see here, see our directions. So we're going to come back to that. Let's see, so our directions here. So we've done pretty much step 8 then. So we can get rid of this. And step 9, we have to answer some questions. And step 10, then we have to paste the scatter plots and regression line below your answers from step 9. So we're going to have to answer these questions up here. But we're out of time in this video, so I'm going to leave it there and continue in part 2 in the next video.